Hi everyone, I'm Kelly, a Writing Center consultant for New Mexico State University's Online Writing Center. In this video, I'll discuss ways to help you shape your topic and narrow the scope of your writing. More specifically, I discuss how your rhetorical context can give your writing clear direction and purpose. That way, you can avoid the "here's all about my topic" kind of essay and instead write with more substance and relevance. So you have a writing assignment, you've done some brainstorming and now have a topic to write about, but if you need help with this, you might want to refer to the companion video on this channel called Invention Strategies Beyond Free Writing, Clustering, and Listing. Coming up with a topic or general idea is a start, but to give your writing more relevance, you'll want to develop your rhetorical context, such as audience, purpose, and genre, to narrow the scope of your writing, which will in turn shape your topic. As you'll see, there is a close relationship between audience, purpose, and genre. They all work together to shape your topic, but for the sake of this video, I'll first discuss each of these individually and through examples show how they all relate to each other. First, since your audience will certainly influence the scope of your writing, you'll want to determine your target audience. You might ask yourself these questions. Who specifically am I writing to? And what do I know about this audience in terms of their knowledge, values, beliefs, and commitments? For example, if you know you want to write about climate change, deciding on your audience will shape your message. If you're writing to elected officials, your message might be to persuade them to vote a certain way on a bill. You may or may not need to inform them of climate change, and you might appeal to them by discussing the moral imperative or the economic benefits. But knowing your audience, in this case elected officials, and their commitments, in this case governing the city, state, or country, creating jobs, and stimulating the economy, will help shape the ways that you write about climate change. Taking the same topic, climate change, now imagine you are writing to children. Your purpose for writing and the ways you write will not be the same as your purpose for writing to elected officials. Writing about climate change for children might take the shape of a picture book or activity, and the purpose might be to inform them of the general idea of their impact on the environment. But addressing the economy and jobs probably wouldn't be an effective way to deliver your message to children. Second, determine your purpose for writing. You can ask yourself, what is the goal of my writing? What do I want my readers to think or do as a result of my writing? Though purpose is connected to your argument, the two can serve, purpose and argument can serve different functions. Your argument is the main idea of your writing that your writing is supporting. Your purpose is why you are writing and what you want your reader to do with your writing. So let's use the earlier examples on climate change. When you write to your elected official about climate change, you might explain the effects of a certain policy with a purpose of persuading the official to vote a certain way. When you write to the child about climate change, your purpose is completely different. Perhaps your purpose is to encourage kids to recycle or ride their bikes, or just to begin to bring awareness to this issue. But in both of these examples, notice how the audience influences your purpose and how your purpose can help you narrow down your audience. As a writer, you should be able to clearly articulate the purpose of your writing, and your writing should reflect this purpose. Third, consider how the genre of your writing also shapes your writing. All genres have certain conventions and histories, and the conversations in particular genres take different shapes and hail different readers. Returning to our examples, writing to children limits the appropriate kinds of genres. From there, choosing the genre, such as a picture book, also shapes how we communicate the message, because picture books carry with them certain conventions and reader expectations. Similarly, writing to an elected official is most effective in certain genres such as email or letters, but both email and letters have certain conventions which will shape the ways that we would communicate. Notice how the audience and purpose inform the appropriate genre to deliver the message, and notice how the genre's conventions continue to shape how it is that you communicate the message. Finally, Always be sure to give your writing boundaries. You might be able to articulate what your project covers and what it doesn't. I've heard students say that they don't bring attention to what they don't cover in their writing. They say they worry they will come across as not credible. Instead, think about boundaries as productive. They allow you to work closely with ideas. Texts always work within certain boundaries. For example, look at lab studies. By describing the methods of the study, the authors also mark the boundaries they work within. Authors also often list the limitations of the study, and these limitations don't necessarily make the study not credible, but offers ideas for future research and inquiry. So let's look at an example of how a student gave herself boundaries. A student, Anna, wrote a proposal to the NMSU Women's Rugby Club to propose a plan for the club to use various types of communication and media to help the club better achieve its needs. So Anna narrowed her rhetorical context to give her writing clear purpose and direction. She has a specific audience, the NMSU Women's Rugby Club, a specific purpose to encourage the club to adopt the recommendations provided, and a specific genre, a professional proposal. While these aspects of the rhetorical context helped Anna shape and narrow her writing, the proposal could still be overwhelming to write and possibly overwhelming for the reader to read. She decided to give herself boundaries to work within. Instead of providing recommendations for each one of the club's needs, such as recruiting, fundraising, and promoting the club, she decided to narrow the scope of the proposal to speak to one specific need, promoting the club. She made these boundaries clear in the introduction to prepare her reader. Then her proposal provided specific, detailed plans the club could adopt to advertise games and events to the public to promote the club. Through writing, Anna also recognized that these plans could support the club's other needs, such as recruiting and fundraising, and she made those connections in her proposal. She explained those connections without specifying specific plans for those other needs. So creating these boundaries allowed Anna to be more specific in her writing and as a result, more informative and persuasive. So I hope this video has helped you think through ways you can give your writing more direction and purpose. Paying attention to your rhetorical context not only helps you narrow the scope of your writing, but can also inform the decisions you make as you write so you can more effectively and efficiently deliver your message. Thanks for watching and happy writing!